My mom called me 3 weeks ago with a simple request. Your sister deserves a real celebration. You already had your turn. I hadn't had my turn. My wedding was 3 months away. But according to my mother, it didn't count. Because Jen's fiancé came from money, and his family expected something proper. So I should step aside. Here's the thing about family. They can ask you to disappear and still expect you to pick up the check. How do you steal a wedding that was never yours to take? Let me tell you exactly how they tried, and how it all fell apart when the venue coordinator asked one simple question in front of everyone. We'll need your card on file to authorize the upgrades. I had every receipt, every single one. Before we go further, drop your country and the time in the comments. And if this sounds familiar, hit like so I know I'm not alone. Let me rewind. Because the venue meeting? That was just the beginning of the end. I've always been the practical daughter. 2 jobs through college, scholarships, paid my own way. I kept my head down and made it work. My sister Jen was different. She was the golden child. Charm, drama, and zero follow-through. Mom funded spring break trips while I was applying for grants. Mom co-signed her first apartment, and her car, and her credit cards when those ran out. I didn't complain. I just built my own life. When I got engaged, I started saving immediately. My fiancé and I wanted something simple, beautiful, honest. We found a garden venue 40 minutes outside the city. Rosewood Estate. String lights, old oak trees, room for 20 people. I booked it 9 months out. Every deposit came from my account. Every vendor I researched myself. I kept records of everything. Bank statements, contracts, emails. It's just who I am. I had a Google Drive folder labeled Wedding 2024. Every invoice. Every receipt. Every confirmation number. I'm not paranoid. I'm careful. Jen was still single at that point. Still posting countdowns to find her person. Then 6 months before my date, she did. Some guy from her gym. Nice enough. His family owned a local real estate firm. Country club people. She got engaged 3 weeks after they started dating. And that's when Mom made her first call. Mom started soft. I'm so happy for your sister. His family is wonderful. Very established. I said that was great. Then she pivoted. They're expecting a proper wedding, sweetheart. You know how these things work. I didn't say anything. You and David already did the courthouse thing, right? We hadn't. I told her we had a venue. A date, June 14th. She laughed. Oh, I know. But you're already married in your heart. That's what matters. Then came the ask. Jen loves your venue. She showed me pictures. The same date would be perfect for her. Summer lighting and everything. I felt my stomach drop. Could you just move yours? Maybe fall? September is lovely. I asked if she was serious. I thought you'd be happy for your sister. She really needs this. His family has standards. I told her I'd think about it. Her voice turned cold. I guess I was wrong about you. I thought you were the kind of person who showed up for family. She hung up. I stared at my phone for 10 minutes. I told myself she'd calm down, that this was just Mom being dramatic. I said I'd think about it. That was my first mistake. My second was answering when Jen called next. Jen didn't ask. She assumed. She texted me Pinterest boards. For our venue. Can't wait to plan together. Our venue. Then she CC'd me on an email to my florist, asking about upgraded packages, bigger arrangements, premium roses. I called her. Jen, I didn't agree to anything. Oh my God, relax. Mom said you were fine with it. She wasn't lying. She actually believed it. Mom had told the whole family I'd agreed to postpone. Suddenly, the group chat exploded. Aunts, cousins, everyone weighing in. Be the bigger person. You're basically already married anyway, right? Jen's future in-laws are so generous. Don't embarrass us. I felt like I was losing my mind. My fiancé asked if I wanted to elope. I almost said yes. Then I called the venue to ask about changing our date. The coordinator sounded confused. Oh, we actually have a meeting scheduled with your mother tomorrow to finalize details for June 14th. My blood went cold. I pulled up my contract folder, and that's when I saw it. I didn't sleep that night. but I had a plan by sunrise. I opened my Google Drive at 2 in the morning. Wedding folder. Venue subfolder. There it was. Rosewood Estate venue agreement. Signed 8 months ago. Deposit $3,200. Cardholder name mine. Date reserved June 14th. Security question on file. My mother's maiden name. The one I had entered when I made the booking. The venue was mine, legally, financially, completely. I opened my credit card statement. The charge was right there. June 2023. 10 months ago. Card ending in 4829. They hadn't booked a venue. They were trying to steal mine. I sat in the dark with my laptop screen glowing. I checked the vendor contracts, florist, photographer, caterer, all under my name. All paid with deposits from my account. Mom didn't know the details. Or maybe she did and thought I'd just hand it over. That I'd be too polite to fight back. I didn't confront them. Not yet. Because if they were bold enough to take my venue, I had to know. What else had they tried to take? I started pulling up email logs. And that's when things got worse. 2 days later, Mom showed up at my apartment, unannounced. She had a printed email in her hand. From the venue, thanking the family for the booking. She'd somehow gotten my reference number. And she'd started making changes. Jen already sent save the dates, she said. This is happening. I told her she had no right. She laughed. You're being selfish. You make good money. You can rebook somewhere else. Jen can't afford this on her own. There it was. The truth. I was supposed to pay for everything. Fix this, she said, or you'll regret it. She left. An hour later, my phone rang. Jen's fiancé's mother. Someone had given her my number. Her voice was polite, icy. I'm sure we can all be reasonable adults here. Jennifer is very excited. It would be a shame to create unnecessary tension. I said I'd think about it and hung up. Then I saw it. Jen had posted on Instagram. A venue reveal. Aesthetic flat lay photo. Rosewood Estate in the background. 600 likes. She'd tagged his family, tagged the venue, made it public. I had 72 hours before Mom's planning meeting with my vendors. I needed the second piece of evidence, and I knew exactly where to find it. I called the venue directly the next morning. I explained I was the card holder on the June 14th booking. The coordinator was mortified. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I assumed your mother was helping you plan. She said you were busy with work. I asked her to send me everything. She did. The email thread was worse than I thought. Mom had written, my daughter asked me to handle the upgrades. She's so busy. Then I saw the payment attempts. 3 declined charges. Card ending in 9134. $850 each. Floral upgrade. Bar package. Chair covers. All declined for insufficient funds. The coordinator explained. We really need the primary cardholder to authorize changes. That's you, correct? I said yes. Mom had tried to use Jen's credit card to upgrade my venue package. It didn't go through, not once. So they kept the Instagram post live, kept the pressure on me, hoping I'd cave, hoping I'd just pay for it to make the embarrassment stop. Now I understood. They weren't just stealing my wedding. They were trying to make me pay for theirs. I needed to understand why, so I did something I'm not proud of. I went through Jen's Instagram, really looked at it this time. She'd been tagging herself at country club events for months, his family's events, charity galas, golf tournaments, garden parties. She was performing. Then I called my aunt, the one who stays out of drama. I asked her what she knew. She sighed. Your mom co-signed for Jen, 2 credit cards. She's in deep? I think she panicked. I asked how deep. 11,000. Maybe more. Jen's future mother-in-law expected a respectable wedding. Jen had promised her one. But Jen had maxed out credit cards, and Mom couldn't loan her anything. She was already on the hook. So they looked at me. I had savings. I had vendor relationships. I had a venue. And I was the kid who never caused problems. The one who'd understand. The plan was simple. Take my wedding, guilt me into paying, frame it as sharing, make it look like I was the selfish one if I said no. I sat with that for a long time. I didn't feel angry anymore. I felt clear. I knew exactly what came next. I made 3 calls. First, the venue. I told the coordinator I'd be attending the planning meeting Mom had scheduled. In person, she said she'd be glad to have me there. Second, my vendors, florist, photographer, caterer. I confirmed that only I could authorize changes to my contracts. And I set password-protected security on every account. Third, a family lawyer. Not to sue. Just to have someone on record. A witness statement. In case they tried to forge my signature on anything. The lawyer listened. Then she said something I'll never forget. Don't accuse. Just enforce your contract. Let the facts talk. I forwarded her a PDF. Consent to represent. Wedding contract enforcement. Then I added one more step. I invited my fiancé, my maid of honor, and my dad. Dad didn't know what Mom had been doing. He'd been traveling for work. Out of the loop. I didn't tell him over the phone. I just asked him to be there. The meeting was set for 3 p.m. on a Thursday. I got there at 2:45. So did everyone else. The venue coordinator welcomed us into her office. Mom, Jen, Jen's fiancé, his mother, me, my fiancé, my dad. The room was small, professional, quiet. The coordinator smiled. Thank you all for coming. I wanted to clarify a few details before we finalized the adjustments to the June 14th event. She pulled up her tablet. Then she turned to me. We'll need your card on file to authorize the upgrades. You're the primary account holder. The room went silent. Jen's face went white. Mom tried to laugh it off. Oh, we can sort that out later. Let's just go over the flowers first. The coordinator shook her head. No, actually, our policy requires cardholder approval for any changes. And according to our records, the event is scheduled under this name. She showed the screen. My name, June 14th. Deposit paid in full. Mom started to say something. I held up my hand. I reached into my bag. Pulled out 3 printed pages. I laid them on the table. First page, the signed contract. My signature. My card, my date. Second page, the deposit receipt. $3,200. Charged June 2023. Third page, the declined payment attempts. Card ending 9134. 3 failures. I slid the email thread across the table. The one where Mom said I'd asked her to handle things. I didn't, I said. I never authorized any of this. Jen's fiancé's mother picked up the papers. Read them. Her expression didn't change. But she stood up. We'll discuss this later, Jennifer. She walked out. Jen started crying. Her fiancé followed his mother. Dad looked at Mom. What did you do? She didn't answer. I turned to the coordinator. I'll be keeping my date. If my sister wants to book her own wedding, she's welcome to check availability for a different month. The coordinator nodded. Mom called my name as I left. I didn't turn around. I handed my dad the folder on the way out. He didn't say a word. Just walked out with me. Mom called me 17 times that night. I didn't answer once. Jen's engagement didn't survive the month. Turns out his family had standards. And when they realized she'd tried to hijack someone else's wedding, and that our mother had lied to vendors, they reconsidered the fit. He broke it off quietly. No drama, just done. Jen moved back in with Mom. I didn't gloat. I didn't post about it. I just kept planning my wedding. Dad called me a week later. He'd read everything in that folder. I didn't know, he said. I'm sorry I wasn't paying attention. He offered to split some of the costs he hadn't known I'd been covering alone. I said yes, not because I needed it, but because it mattered that he asked. Mom sent one email. Subject line, fine. I didn't open it. I didn't block her. I just stopped responding. My wedding happened on June 14th. Exactly as planned. Small garden ceremony. String lights in the oak trees. 20 people who actually loved us. My dad walked me down the aisle. My maid of honor cried through her toast. My fiancé and I wrote our own vows. No drama. No debt, no lies. Jen didn't come. Mom didn't either. And I was okay with that. The venue coordinator gave us a complimentary champagne toast at the end of the night. She told me she was proud of me. I didn't realize how much I needed to hear that. Here's what I learned. You teach people how to treat you. For years, I stayed quiet because I didn't want to be difficult. I thought being the low-maintenance daughter meant being loved. It didn't, it just meant being used. When I finally held a boundary, I lost some relationships. But I kept my integrity. And that's the trade I'll make every single time. Boundaries aren't cruelty. They're clarity. Mom still doesn't speak to me. Some days that hurts. Most days, I remember what it cost to be heard. And I know I made the right call. So here's my question for you. Have you ever had to choose between keeping the peace and keeping your self-respect? What did you do? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if you made it this far, hit subscribe. There's more where this came from. This has been a fictionalized dramatization. Not legal or financial advice. But the lesson? That part's real.